Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it, and I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great.
All right, here we go. Charlotte Motor Speedway. And we get ready for the All-American ARCA Series presented by Whiteriver LLC. What if I told you that this is the second intro I've done already? What if I told you that 5 minutes ago, if not more, I was actually live, but didn't realize I was not live? That totally just happened. Welcome in on a Friday night. It's been that kind of week. I'll explain in a short manner because I don't want it to turn into me complaining. But what a fun race we got here in store tonight. 83 degrees, 41% humidity, partly cloudy skies, 8-mile-an-hour winds, a little breezy. But Charlotte ready to rock and roll. This is the '08 edition, which believe me, I should say, has no Roval on it. So you're going to see what it used to look like about 10 years ago with a car from 15, 20 years ago. So it should be some fun racing here in the ARCA Series. So yeah, this is the earliest I've been home all week from work. Didn't get to broadcast Tuesday night. So you're going to forgive me when hopefully there's not many graphics to use, but I do got some to use. One of them is the point standings as we enter tonight. Jonathan Cutlip now leads Barkuski over by six, I should say, as he jumped over him there after that race. Christopher Heller still third in points. David Tooker there in fourth. Stephen Miles now your top five in the points standings. Matthew Weeks, Zach Henry, Mike Husby, Casey Carrington off his win last week, and Tim Abril, your top 10 all the way down to 20th, and Steven Thompson there in points. Look at our team points as warm-up should be about to get started. Story of my life. Somebody's mad at me. What else is new? Get in line. It's kind of like, what's his name says? Ross Chastain. Get in line. 25-11, leaving by 75 points. CX squared, 120. Fueled Up Racing, 144 back. TI Racing, 152. And then Porsche Pensport. However, there's been some interesting developments that have happened in the last week. And part of that's led to some changes and things. And I'm not going to go too much into detail. I'm gonna kind of go into more next week because I want to be able to sit with Casey and see what needs to be said or what not. But basically, according to the admins and stuff of the series, we have had potentially, and I think there's actually been a rule made from it, but basically there's been some talks of people driving in the race or in the field that aren't actually that person. I won't mention teams. I'm not going to get involved in any of that stuff. I'm just going to say that kind of in a basis mode right now until everything's finalized. And like I said, I have not had a chance to talk to Casey about it and kind of get a report so I can bring it out to you guys, the viewers and stuff. But the team that's involved has been talked to. There's a lot of chatter going on in chat, but we're just going to leave it at that. Put it like this. It is actually illegal to share your account with somebody. And that kind of thing. So don't do it. especially if you get caught in an official session. So just be aware of that in case you ever thought about it. But again, as we get into that, we'll talk about that more coming up here next week when we are, or 2 weeks from now, I should say, when we're off after Easter weekend, which I'm going to have a big announcement later on tonight when it comes to our return in 2 weeks. So, all right, qualifying is all done. We're in the warm-up session right now. Got about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes left, so I do want to make sure we take care of our sponsors. Of course, tonight is the All-American ARCA Series presented by Whiteriver LLC. And, of course, qualifying is presented by MH Design, so we appreciate Mike Husby for sponsoring the Pole Award. So what we're going to do is actually throw up the results here on the screen of what has happened in qualifying. Of course, they were on track just a few minutes ago. I think I can make this work. Come on, cooperate with me. Nope, that's the grid. That's why that's not working. Trying to get it to pop up here. Stand by. I don't usually pop up the results. There we go. So Mark Whitley, 29.775. He is officially the new track record holder. He'll be on the pole tonight, of course, presented by MH Design. So congratulations to him. Brandon Barkuski will start second. Matthew Weeks, David Tooker, and Mike Husby, your top five. The track record was a 30.264. So the track record broken by a half second now with these Gen 4 cars. Hearing a lot of great things about the setup. Should be some fun racing tonight. I know Charlotte, even before they did the re-update and stuff from all the times I ran it before, was a multi-groove track, so to say. You could run the bottom, but that middle could be very tricky with the way it is all set up. So congratulations, Mark Whitley, the MH Designs Award pole winner tonight. And again, thanks to Mike Husby for sponsoring the pole award. Let's talk to the driver as we get ready to go green here in just a moment. I don't know who it's going to be. It might be low because of the sun and stuff. I know I'm at 1080. So it could be the track too. I don't know. We'll see when I get down there, like looking at the cars live and stuff like that. It could be the settings. Remember, this track hasn't been touched. Once a track goes into a legacy track, it doesn't get touched, I don't think, anymore. So some of the stuff could be still like a low-quality graphic from iRacing. Then the new track is what it's been, 5 years now? 4 or 5 years since the new track has been brought out. Let's talk to Brandon here. Let's bring up a 2511 driver. Of course, they do. They've had a pretty good start to the season. He's going to start on the outside pole here this evening. But Brandon, wanted to bring you up here real quick, man. I know you're getting ready to go racing here, but unfortunately lost a points lead last week. It's been a rough couple of races here. How do we get back on our feet here tonight at Charlotte?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's kind of crazy to think that, first of all, that Jonathan I think he failed to qualify California and still has the points lead. To put him in perspective to the fans,
Right.
That's how good this guy is to beat. But I think having a good starting spot, Chris, tonight will kind of allow me to, ease into the race in the beginning. I think last week I really started going backwards on the first run, and I think I was just overdriving. I'm not used to this 800 horsepower yet.
Mm-hmm.
Got to keep this thing under me a little bit. I think that's going to be the key to tonight, is just driving my own race and just making up the points where I can.
What has been the toughest part of the adjustment for you? Has it been the difference in speed now, or is it the racing part? What have you noticed?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I've always liked a little bit of a snugger race car, Chris. I like when the nose is kind of, you got to really kind of wait on the throttle.
Right.
Driving a looser car is a little bit of an adjustment for me. It's something I've never been comfortable with, and I think just going forward, I just got to get used to it. This is the car we're driving from here on out. The only one who's going to be able to do it is me. I can't make an excuse. I just need to learn how to do it.
Owning up to it. I like it. Well, best of luck here tonight. You got that outside pole, so you can go get that lead lap. I remember this track from a couple years ago, that middle groove could play very interesting, I think, here in the long run. So best of luck tonight.
Yeah, thank you so much. We're going to need it.
Yeah, absolutely, buddy. Brandon Markuski, the outside pole sitter tonight. As you see him next to the new track record holder, and that being Mark Whitley there in the 77. You see the starting lineup going across the top of the screen as the cars roll off for their one pace lap. Just reminded me that I need to turn my audio on for my speaker. I actually have rebooted my computer for the first time in a while. And it just reminded me to go look at my fan over there, and it's actually working. Hey, looky there. Random things you do when you actually turn your computer off for the first time in a long time. See Stephen Miles, shotgun on the field, almost missed the race, and he's fifth in points. Hello, phone. All right, so tonight, 134 laps, 200 miles around this 1.5-mile track. Built back in 1961. Curtis Turner and the recently passed Bruton Smith put this track together. They ran their first race, believe it or not, in June of 1961. That was because they had to delay with the track and all that different stuff. But tonight we go racing the old Charlotte Motor Speedway on iRacing for 200 miles. Race 8 is green from the Queen City. Our camera snipe presented by TrackCams22.com. You can check them out online on Facebook. And, of course, in the iRacing forums, TrackCams22.com.
Bluetooth mode.
You're going to hear that audio. That's me getting my audio bar set up as Whitley leads lap 1. By the way, this race tonight called the World 200. Of course, this is kind of to pay homage a little bit to the old World 600 that used to be ran back in the 1980s. In the 90s, then became the Coca-Cola 600 to this day. There's Jordan Owens, the Geek Squad number 20. And still no updated car, unfortunately, so we'll just put the car away. Got some new names in the field tonight. Matt Schlosser in the 400 car. Him in the 10th position, going by the screen right now. So obviously this track runs a lot different than Texas. Texas was a bottom-friendly track. You see tonight already 2x2. Tim Averill there in the bottom. Tyler Burden. There's Alex Bryson with Finley Fitzsimmons. Down the back straightaway, almost 3 wide back there. They are 3 wide as Finley takes it to the bottom. Christopher Heller into this battle with Tim Averill. There's the 7 of Jeffrey Goodpaster back after his unfortunate situation with his family. And again, thoughts and prayers to those guys there. So Stephen Miles is on track, by the way. He did miss the start. He is 36th right now, and he's about 12 seconds back. So he is going to need the old yellow hanky to come out here in order to get where he needs to be in this field. Not a good side-by-side racing. You see the 400 car going to the top. There's Jordan Owens in the middle. Whitley's pulled away to about 0.7 of a second up front as David Tooker has actually moved up to second now with Weeks up to third. Mike Husby is now fourth. Barkuski's fallen back to the 5th position. There's last week's winner at Texas. Casey Carrington brought the same car, different look. We ride with Tyler Bird in the 36. You see Owens getting a little jukey there off 2. Oh, caution, trouble on the track. And the points leader is involved and over on his lid almost. Cut lip. Nick Leo involved. I see the 15 of Bryson. What, whoa? Unfortunately, this is what happens when you get back into the field a little bit. You're always risked to be in trouble. Not sure where this wreck starts, but let's see the replay here. Alex Bryson, that blue and yellow car right behind Finley there. Oh, he's going to get clipped by Goodpaster. Saves it, but then Leo comes into the 28. Kyle Hall maybe sneaks through there. That might be one of those where it looks like Bryson maybe was just trying to adjust lanes after seeing Finley come up there. And unfortunately, I don't think he knew the 7 was there. Let's watch down the back straightaway again here. .400 gets involved also. Gets a little bit there. Leo hard into the wall. About 5 or 6 cars in this. On board with Cutliff here. And for Cutliff, this is going to be a good learning experience here because sometimes as a point leader or as a contender for a championship, you're going to find yourself in position to be in some battles like this or in some adversity. Best thing he can do now is try to get this car fixed as best as possible and get what he can get. You see Abro, a little bit of right rear damage on that 3. I don't see anybody taking their car behind the wall, it looks like. So everybody's still out on track. Cody McCorkle's on pit road. Looks like pretty much cars maybe with some damage or towards the back all coming to pit road, and that's going to be it here. At the start of this World 200. And pace car lights are off. All right, pace car going to hang a left here. We'll go back green. Lap number 10 in the books here. Whitley, good restart. The top cars already getting separated out there. And I've just noticed that Vanda Morello's name is blending in on the screen. Let me get that fixed real quick. You're going to see the cars reset here for a second. That was on me. I hit the wrong button. Sometimes you hit the right button, sometimes you hit the wrong one. It happens. Everybody pretty much single file for the most part here, trying to get back into rhythm. A couple cars jumping out of line. How about this guy making his, not sure if it's league debut, but season debut. The Italian driver Antonio Bianchi. Got the number 71 on the side of his car. The purple and black. As let's look up farther ahead here is Christopher Heller going to the low side on Trey Holmes in the 88. Makes that pass. The 7th position there. A lot of off-throttle time. Wait till these tires really start to fall off here in the next little bit. Kyle Heath was watching a little bit here. Kyle is in this race, running 12th right now. Who else is out there watching tonight? Of course, Patty, Christopher's mom. Mrs. Heller, hello. Aaron Thomas watching after apparently ran his first ARCA race I saw on Twitter. And apparently now people are pissed off at me for some damn reason about a Dollard Dash race. Which, by the way, that reminds me, our bingo card. We had a lot of spots filled in last week. I'll have to get that updated. There's that sun starting to set over there in turn 1 and 2 as we go into the night. I should say a special appearance or occurrence tonight. Casey Carrington, the owner of the league, has decided to make the race a 2x time race. And what I mean by that is in iRacing, you have the adjustability to change how quick time goes, so to say. So because of that, time is actually at a ratio to where every 30 seconds now of real life time is a minute in race. If that makes sense. So it's basically double the speed, so to say. So you'll notice it maybe get dark slightly quicker than it usually does in a race. You might not even notice the difference at all until I said something. It's Fitzsimmons inside of Burton for position. Back here, this is the 11th spot. Oh, good job. Way to go on that one. Yeah, I'm going to do that Saturday night, by the way, I think. Got to get the Fuji NAS 1 race in. I was going to do it last night, but I literally got on my couch at like 9:30 and I didn't move. And then went to sleep. There's Kyle Heath in the 13, trying to pass the 36 there through 3 and 4. .950 horsepower. Working their way through the corners. So everybody's still on track after that caution. Nobody went behind the wall. Everybody good to go. And a couple things I just want to clean up real quickly when it comes to driver stats and stuff. I did not get to cover the Rookie of the Year and Manufacturer points standing. So entering tonight's race, Stephen Miles has a 6-point lead over Tim Abril. He has 8-point lead over Zach Henry. Mark Whitley is there at 26 points, so he's 16 back. And Kyle Heath, your top 5, 20 points back now of the Louisiana driver there, Stephen Miles. And that's how the Rookie of the Year points are going right now. Manufactured points, Toyota leads Pontiac by 3. Chevrolet is 12 back in 3rd. Dodge is 14 back in 4th. Porsche and Ford rounding up the rear. But I couldn't help but notice something when I was on board a car during that caution. Let's, I want to go up here to Austin Bloom. And I want to look out the nose, or at least the front of the car. He's kind of too far up there. That yellow car, it's literally between these two cars. If we can get a good view on it, we can't. But I'm going to have to confirm this with the beat writers and stuff like that. But I believe we're looking at a Nissan in that number 400 car. He's getting closer to Delgado, so let's flip the view here. But if so, I believe that would be the first, as they like to say it across the pond, Nissan in the field. Which my guess would be he's running the Sentra. Gets a little loose there. Oh, still getting loose. That's going to allow this car to get up here real quickly. It's got the Nissan label on it, so we'll call it a Nissan as Delgado goes to the inside of Kyle Hall for position. So this might be the first Nissan we've had in the field. There's Delgado in the number 63. And there's your leader, Mark Whitley. He's led all the laps here so far. Well, I know there's a Porsche car. Oh, is there a GTR template for the ARCA car? That's cool. Because I know we got, obviously, all the other mates out here. And tomorrow will be an April Fool's Day. I'd be ready for anything when announcements come. I already saw something that I only saw it on one Twitter report, so I didn't believe it one bit. Somebody said Fiat had signed up for NASCAR. I was like, wait, what? I'm going to drive the... we have a little box car out there in the track racing now. I mean, I could see it in the electric maybe, but not. Double teammates here, 5th and 6th, Carrington and Husby. Of course, Carrington won last week at Texas. Shocked him a lot. He didn't expect to run that well at that track. So I'm at 85% fuel, which leaves us at about 38 laps on a tank here this evening. So for those who did not pit under that caution, probably another 13 laps or so, they'll be on pit road. For those who did pit, obviously a few extra laps, depending on how their car is handling. Fitzsimmons up to the 9th position, looking below Heller. Something tells me you don't want to do that there, Aaron. Let's check back here on our... I guess I could throw this nickname out there. The league's version of a crash test dummy. The 82 car of Larry McKenzie. Giving plenty of room to good passer there as they battle for position. And 24 behind him there, Stephen Thompson. There's the 5 back there behind him of Perchetsky. Jeff running the, what I learned tonight, the Kyle Busch car from his runner-up finish in Daytona to Jamie McMurray in a 400 one night. As we got Antonio Bianchi coming to pit road here at lap 30. This might be it. Look how sideways that car is. That thing is crabbing, and I think it's being done on purpose. I think it's part of the setup. Overshoots his pit stall a little bit. Getting tires and fuel, so I think this is a scheduled pit stop for the 71. Trey Holmes making some moves inside Barkuski. This is for the 5th position. He took the spot away. As you see, the 19 starting to kind of fall back. Maybe a little short run car there for Husby. Getting a little tight. Josh Dillon going by his teammate Husby there for 9th. So Dillon having another good run up front. And Bianchi's still on pit road, so there must be something wrong with his car. I didn't see any damage on the right side of it, so I thought it was all part of the setup. Whitley, you see he's got a couple people catching him there up front. Took her right there within a 10th. This layout of Charlotte, one of my favorites. One that I've had plenty of good memories at. Some bad ones, unfortunately, too. I remember winning a couple of hosted races from a guy I used to race with back when I first started on iRacing. Always hosted plenty of races on a weekday or whatever, even on weekends, and we'd sit there till 2, 3 in the morning. And I remember one time in a hotel room in 2013 at Iowa Speedway, or by Iowa Speedway, we brought rigs and stuff, and we set them up in the hotel room. I was blinking more than a Christmas tree, and somehow went out and won the race. It was at this track, in a B car. As the 5 off the pace there, probably going to come to pit road to Perchetsky. Of course, I also have a race that I was coming off, going into turn 3 and 4 on the final lap to win the NIS 600. And left the door open to the inside and drove it in at a very high apex, turned right down into the car and spun us both out. As Tooker looks to the inside. That was 2015, I think. As you see the shadows starting to get in, you saw Whitley get a little loose. And I think Tooker's going to take the leader. He should have the angle going to turn 1, but if he can stay on his door, he can hold him off here. And Tooker's got him cleared, so move him to the front. Here comes the 11 of Weeks to his inside. Crossover from the 77. As Woodley, oh, he caught the grass there, had to go save it. Great save by the 77 there. Unfortunately, he's going to fall to third. And that car got very upset over the grass. As here's the 63 under the 400. Christian Delgado. And he's going to come to pit road here, so let the pit stops begin. A familiar sponsor, I believe, on that car. I see the dog on the front hood. I believe that's the Bully Dog Coffee car. No tires and fuel for the 63. And looky here, a new leader. Matthew Weeks has gone by his teammate. The points lead, or the champion from last season. Back where he belongs up front. Let's see how the 11 made the move. Just give me a second to get to the replay. There it is. Lap 39 is when it happened. Down the front straightaway into turn 1, and that Dodge Charger charging its way to the front. And here come the leaders. Some of the leaders to pit road. Carrington, Whitley. 45-mile-an-hour speed limit. Dylan Owens, Heath, Van Pelt, Stephen Miles on pit road. Husby's already pitted. Tyler Burton is pitted. Kyle Hall is pitted. Nick Sargent is pitted. More tires and fuel. Everybody got to get to that yellow line right there before you can go over 45. And watch out for that manhole cover on the inside. You don't see it on the sim, but you hit it, and it don't feel good. Especially when it spins you out. Oh, and caution is out. Caution out for the second time. I'm looking for it. And looks like Delgado's involved along with Alex Bryson. Oh, boy. Flip this race on its head. Why don't we? Oh, Bianchi and the 63 touch. Oh, and Bryson gets clipped. He's not having a good night. One of those looks like Delgado was going to go in a little late on the apex, and the 71 sent it in there. They both had tires on the car. Actually, no, I say it wrong. It looks like there Delgado's come down into him. But he clips Bryson, who hits that wall a ton. Shades of Dale Jr. at Auto Club. Well, that just made this race interesting. As here now come the leaders to pit road. Finley Fitzsimmons in is this. It happens. Fitzsimmons on pit road. Like Zoink Scoob, that guy's stuttering. Oh. Fitzsimmons with ease going to win the race off pit road. Meanwhile, waiting on everybody else to leave pit road here is McCorkle, Justin Ray. All right, caution out. And we're going to black screen this thing for a second. I need to fix a small issue really quickly. Be right back. Yeah, I don't hear anybody complimenting my what's his name there? Not Scrappy, but Shaggy. Probably a good thing. It's not the best. Could be a lot better. All right, there we go. And you'll never know what I did. All right, so let's see. As Abrils on pit road, Jonathan Cutlip on pit road, getting damage fixed. Austin Bloom, amongst the others. Now, the first car, according to my timing and scoring that I have, is Mark Whitley, that has the tires and fuel from the green flag pit stops. Now, I'm looking at the numbers here, and a lot of these cars stayed on the lead lap with everything happening with the pit stop so quickly, so should not have many wave rounds. Maybe Brandon Barkuski, we'll have to see. He's the first one. He might have just gotten a lucky dog, actually. Well, we'll get this all cycled out. But Fitzsimmons and I'm going to take the pace car here at 1 to go. And basically what you got to look for is where there's single file. That'll be where pretty much the wave around and lucky dogs and all that came into place. So here's where you can see it. Casey Carrington, all these guys coming around pit road. Those are your wave arounds. I didn't catch them. So we might get a waved off grid. Look out, coming in hot. The Bloom brakes car about needed Bloom brakes. Probably going to get a waved off restart here. We sure do. Let everybody in the field. So all those cars are back on the lead lap. So we had Carrington, Husby, Whitley, Owens, Kyle Hall, Kyle Heath, Josh Dillon, Miles, Van Pelt, Sargent, McKenzie, Burden, Barkuski, as now they're going to sort it out. So pretty much 2 cars now left. A lap down, Christian Delgado and Jeff Perchetsky. That right there should tell you how many wave rounds we've had. I mean, there's only 6 rows of 2x7 rows of 2x2 here as we come to the green here at lap number 47. Second straight week we've had a race get flipped with strategy. And this is going to be very testing, if you will, for the patience of these guys in this field tonight. But of course, thanks to our good friends at FrontStretch.com, it is our opportunity to turn these speakers up and allow us to enjoy some 950 horsepower from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Let's turn it up. Looky here. Cody McCorkle in the 2 car. Going past the 06 for the lead here at lap number 50. Of course, the Turn It Up segment brought to you by FrontStretch.com. If you didn't get a chance to, you can check out the Friday Face-Off, which is basically a bunch of us writing about a series of questions that have been brought up, and we discuss them. One of the questions talked about is Harrison Burton on the hot seat at Wood Brothers. Of course, myself and others discussed that in the article. You can check it out at FrontStretch.com. And also you can get my kind of an island take, so to say. I'm out there on my own on this one. If COTA should be on the schedule next season for NASCAR. Hear why I said no. You got to go, well, you won't hear it. You can go read why I said no at frontstretch.com. Check that out. And, of course, all the updates from Richmond, from Texas, from IndyCar to NASCAR, dirt, and all that good stuff. It's all there at frontstretch.com. McCorkle continues to lead for now as Fitzsimmons, topside, goes around. Now you see Weeks, Tooker, those guys who are been the faster cars. They have worked their way up here through the field from that restart. Now, most of them have, I should say. The one who has not come up through the field is this guy right here, Mark Whitley, in the 77 car, still sitting back, 25th position. Not sure if that error is just kind of playing with him here, if he's got a car that's not cooperating with him, what the deal is here. He might be just being patient and letting his field kind of spread out and then start to make his moves. So we'll have to keep an eye on that 77 to see what he does, because remember, this is a fixed setup series. So everybody's got the same setup. It's just a matter of how you drive it. Teammates back here, the 19 of Mike Cosby, Carrington. Trying to go through the field together. There's Jordan Owens. There's Nick Terrell in the 81. The Doritos car up towards the top. There's the 7, a good passenger behind them. There's Jordan, 18th position right now for him. One car got loose up there with a yellow car. Might have been Schlosser in the 400. That sun's starting to set there behind the grandstands. You see it for about a split second, kind of blinds the drivers. Remember, this is up on top of the car, the roof cam here. Who is that in the Jeff Burton throwback? That's Robert Colgan in the 94 car, I've just noticed. Good passer with some issues here on the back straightaway. Spins it around turn 3 and tows it back to pit road. So, not sure what has happened to the 7. I'm not sure if I can find what happened, unfortunately. But the 7 is taking his car behind the wall. And there's Victor Alien for you for a split second. As McCorkle is now falling back to 5th. Matthew Weeks is up to 2nd. David Tooker, Christopher Heller. And then, as I mentioned, McCorkle 5th. How about this guy in 6th right here? Justin Ray. Running now in his 6th position. Yeah, Craig Martin up there in 9th. You got Alex Penn there in 10th. So some new names with the pit strategy coming into play here. As we're 6 laps from halfway, seeing a lot of passing and a lot of stuff going on mid-pack here. As let's look at Casey Carrington inside of Stephen Thompson. That's the 11th position there for the 9 car. I'm keeping an eye back here on a couple of the points leaders. Jonathan Cutlip, top 20 right now for that car. That's not a car that's in one piece. And then you see Whitley right there now up to 22nd. So as I said, he was probably letting these tires kind of heat up and let them wear on some of these guys driving hard. And now he's just going to work his way past them all, pick them all off. Probably one of the easiest ways to make passes here at Charlotte. Let them wear the car out and then go pass them. You put that car right down on that white line. You see Cutlip get loose. Whitley comes right up there. Should be able to slide to his inside here. That's how you do it. And you roll out of the throttle here as you go over this little bump or hump into turn one. Put it down on that white line. Literally slides up a little bit. It's going to hurt him. But you want to try to put that left front corner right down on that white line. And right here is a white line that comes into play that you can just use that as your braking mark or whatever and bring that car right down and sit it on that white line. If you can do that, you will blow by people. As Alex Penn under attack right now. One of the top secrets, if you will, at Charlotte, if you're one that isn't used to the term trail braking, it's a good track to do it. Go into the corner and literally just kind of lay your foot on the brake to set that nose down going into 3 and 4. And that car will rotate that corner. Penn doing a good job holding off that 9. I talked about the center lane. On the he gets a little loose there in that Porsche. But the center lane at this track, as we get older tires going here, you can do some fighting in it. Oh, Alex is fighting it off 4. Finally has to give it up. Trey Holmes inside of the 38 of Justin Ray, now starting to go backwards. As we have passed the halfway point, 67 laps in, 67 to go in the World 200 here, Charlotte Motor Speedway, the 08 version of the track. For those who are watching, like, wait a minute, there's no backstretch grandstands anymore. Or wait a minute, where's the Roval? This is the older Charlotte. So Fitzsimmons went about a 4/10 of a second lead over Weeks. David Tooker's there third. Christopher Heller there in fourth, and Cody McCorkle in fifth. Trey Holmes there in sixth. As I mentioned, Justin Ray seventh. Carrington now up to eighth with Schlosser and Husby, your top 10. As we complete 70 laps of the 134 in this World 200. There's Whitley there, or Weeks, I should say, as we ride with him there in the second position. As you see now, the whole entire front stretch is pretty much covered all the way to pit wall. Look at this mess back here. Remember I talked about Mark Whitley letting this car just kind of come to him and letting the field fall back to him? Up to the 15th position all of a sudden. And now he's looking to get around that 07 Lucky Charms mobile. And there's Husby falling back with him. And he is just simply just kind of letting these cars wear their tires out and then taking advantage of them. There he goes by for 14th. It's kind of my little trick too. I like to do that in a long race like this. Let the cars run away and then reel them back in. 74 laps in, 60 laps to go. Fitzsimmons watching that lead kind of fall back a little bit, down to 0.3 of a second now over Matthew Weeks. Weeks looking to finally get that 11 back into victory lane after his championship season. Fitzsimmons looking to get that second win after his win at Texas last season. Weeks is there, about a 10th or so back. Obviously, catching's one thing, passing's another. It's going to make it very tricky here. And there goes Weeks to his inside there, coming up on the lap car to 33 of Dalton Wilson, who's trying to get out of the way. And unfortunately, gets used as a pick. And Weeks to the front, 57 laps to go. Kyle Hall making a pit stop there. There's Justin Ray's got Schlosser there behind him. Alex Penn there in the 10th position now. As I mentioned those pit stops. Those are the first two to pit road. So this is at lap 77. Everybody came to pit road about lap 41 to 43 in that range. So 30 laps is, hold on there, would take us probably another 4 to 5 laps. And we could see green flag pit stops again here in this World 200. So we get close to sunset in this race. Mark Whitley looking to go into the top 10 now. Just picking off cars one at a time. There's Craig Martin back there. Barkuski, who's kind of struggled a little bit, running top 15. Mike Husby on pit road now. Stephen Miles, Jordan Owens. As Husby leaves pit road right now, 14.9 for him. Owens and Miles on pit road. Miles has been struggling as he is trying to catch up from his pit road start. I saw him up in the top 15 at one point, but otherwise, I think he got caught with the pit road situation there. Kyle Hall, fastest lap of the race, 29.99, and uh-oh. I think Jordan Owens might have a penalty coming his way. He got his right sides above that white line. We'll have to keep an eye on that. iRacing might throw a little penalty at him for that. Trey Holmes on pit road. Casey Carrington in. Comes the 07. You see Schlosser leaving pit road there. You see a couple others. 63, I believe, leaving pit road. Jackson Van Pelt, Tim Abril. Yep, Delgado, as I mentioned, McKenzie and those guys. Let's see. Here comes the leaders on the pit road. Weeks and Tooker. Also keep an eye, like I said, on the 20 car to see if he does get a penalty or not. So basically the guys that you see staying out on track right now are the ones that did the strategy a little bit ago. You see Mark Whitley has actually stayed out a little bit longer now so he don't get caught by the caution. McCorkle, Colgan on pit road, Craig Martin, Justin Ray, these guys all coming in. This is lap number 85. 49 to go. Everybody's still going to have to make a pit stop. As you see, the lights are on now, almost to nighttime, and we're starting to see lap times in the 29-second bracket. Carrington is running at 29.97, which is now the fastest lap of the race, as Whitley is in. Fitzsimmons in for tires and fuel. Nick Terrell. That gives Stephen Thompson the lead. He'll be the last of the leaders to come to pit road. And here comes the 24, so that should cycle everybody around through a full round of pit stops, believe it or not, in this All-American ARCA Series, presented by Whiteriver LLC. Race number 8 tonight. Of course, we have the week off next week. And then we'll go to the Iowa Speedway on the 14th of April. That'll be the next race on the schedule, and I guess I should go ahead and break the news to you. In case you didn't know, on one of the other series we broadcast on Sunday and Monday nights, we started to put all the series out on a lot of channels, from like Twitter to YouTube to Facebook back last season. And this season we decided to kind of condense it back down to YouTube. And then for that series, we had actually added the Facebook pages to not only Captain Esports Network, but to that league. Well, here in the All-American ARCA Series, as you saw weeks get a little tight there, Tooker putting the pressure on. We have made the decision that starting here in 2 weeks, you will see the All-American ARCA Series on both its Facebook page and also the Captain Esports Network Facebook page, along with YouTube, starting on Friday nights. So if you're one that follows on the Facebook pages, you'll be able to watch live right there on the page itself, starting in 2 weeks. So simple setup on my end, but looking forward to enhancing the coverage out a little bit. So now this field's spread out with the pit stops. New third place driver, and look who has kind of been sleeping a little bit here. Christopher Heller, he's been hanging there in the top 10, not been there the whole time, but he's been hanging there. And he is definitely stolen some position here. He's up to third, Trey Holmes up to fourth. And Mike Husby now up to fifth, Carrington, Fitzsimmons, McCorkle. All of a sudden, he hadn't been in the top 10 all night. Stephen Miles in ninth now. And Kyle Hall in the 10th position. Now, Kyle's got a little bit older tires in the field right now, because he was the first to come to pit road back at lap number 77. So he's got the track position from the 4 tires. But I'm pretty sure his freshness is not going to be as good as some of the others. Three wide back here. Fitzsimmons inside of Carrington, inside of Husby. He said, mentioned Kyle starting to fall back now. Kyle Heath going to go by in the 13 car. Kyle up in the 12th position. Biggest movers in the race. By the way, got to give a shout out to Alex Penn, but nobody's got anything on Cody McCorkle. 28 positions from dead last. That 2-car rides in 8th, took advantage of that pit stop, or that caution. Stole the track position away, and now runs at number 2 up in the 8th position. All right, so Jordan Owens is on pit road. Now, I'm not sure if this is the penalty that he's pitting for. If so, it's a lot later than usual. Usually only have like 3 or 4 laps on iRacing. Alex Penn's having trouble in 4, by the way. But usually only have like 3 or 4 laps. Now, I'm not sure if he had it reviewed, maybe. And now serving it. He's in his pit stall, so I'm not sure what's going on with the 20 car. And he might also be trying the backward strategy here, which I don't know if I recommend that. Here's Whitley coming flying through the field. He's got about the freshest tires of the leaders here. He was one of the last cars to pit at lap 86. So he's got some 3 to 5 to 6, 7 lap fresher tires in the field here. And believe it or not, that little bit counts. Eight laps to go. There's Stephen Miles in the 9th position. Here comes Whitley. I think he just moved over and said, yep, there you go. Take the inside lane, please. I mean, let's look at lap times here. Whitley is running 30.50s right now. And he is about 0.3 of a second faster than everyone. As we show him over on the left-hand side of the screen here, let's watch the lap times flick around here. See Weeks with a 95, a 98 for Tooker, a 95 for Heller. Holmes at 31. And it looked down there at 9th, a 73, which actually, that's passing a car. He ran a 73. Well, this becomes really easy to judge. Look at everybody's times. 31, 31, 31, 31. And then there's a 70 from Fitzsimmons. Good lap there. And then down there's Whitley, 30, 67. So if there's any questions who the fastest cars on the track are, you're seeing them. I need a reminder. Who's the rooster again? Forgive me. It's been a very, very long week. There you see Jordan Owens, lap car now. Going to come through the field here with some fresher tires. The 06 there trying to hold off Trey Holmes. As we complete lap number 100. 150 miles in, 50 miles to go. And Stephen Miles under attack here. A couple cars here to his inside. Tyler Burden, the 36, the 13, also Kyle Heath. So Miles going to fall back to 12th now. And again, Miles was one of the earlier cars to pit. So what you're seeing here is Alex Penn, good grief. That Porsche is all kinds of sideways off the corners. That time it looked like he got so tight that the front end grabbed and he got loose. Alex might be a little pushed loose here. Look, I mean, he's sawing on that wheel right now. Again, white gloves on cars. I see Brandon Alphin's watching. That's okay. That gave it all away. Up front, David Tooker just kind of sitting back behind Weeks there. So, of course, Matthew Weeks and David Tooker, part of the Mountain Man Motorsports team. Had a little bit of a rough start to the season, the team did, and they've really come to life here in these last couple of races. Saw the 82 a little off the pace there. Saw him jump to the apron, and I think he was just getting out of the way of the leaders here. Yeah, battle of Nicks. Nick Terrell, Nick Leo. Leo been in some trouble tonight in that 69 car. Probably when done tonight, they'll both go watch Nickelodeon. Or Wildin' Out with Nick Cannon. Up front, Tooker's really putting the pressure on now. He's getting that little bit of air on that left side of his nose. He sees Heller there about 2 seconds back. Watch. See if we see it again here. You see Weeks just about a quarter of a car length off the white line there, and Tooker couldn't get it either. That's what makes this camera right here so cool. Look at Tooker, put it right down on the white line, slides up a little bit there. They're both actually up the track. And a surprising pit stop here, and maybe a strategy play. Finley Fitzsimmons in with 26 to go. I think he's splitting the run in half here. So is Kyle Hall. Here he comes to pit road. So is, I think that's Cutlip. And Tooker's right there behind him. Tooker maybe going to try an undercut here. Four tires and fuel for one of the hottest drivers on the circuit. One of the hottest teams, that Z-Line team. Good stops for all those guys. And here comes Weeks to pit road to counter. 4 tires and fuel for the 11. You can see all the cars on pit road now. Husby, there's McCorkle leaving pit road. Dillon there in the 12. Heller still yet to pit there. 23 to go. All right, so good news with everything going on here with the pit stops. There you see the 11 car. You see Finley Fitzsimmons out ahead, so he is beating him off pit road. David Tooker, not so much. Not sure if that was a pit road thing. We'll have to see. Well, we can find out here, but still, Christopher Heller, Mark Whitley, Stephen Miles. I think these guys either going to pit here in the next lap or so, or they're going to run this tank out. Penn trying to get that 13 car going a little bit. All right, so this is going to be your eventual battle for the lead. Finley Fitzsimmons, Matthew Weeks, and then there's David Tooker. And you notice Tooker is way back all of a sudden. So what happened to the driver of the 83 car? Well, I don't have Larry McReynolds. I don't have Steve Letarte. I've just simply got the captain. I'm a one-man show. But the good news is I have the power of technology to go back and find what happened. And the great news is I have found it. It's just a matter of going back to the lap and clicking on the right spot here. So David Tooker came to pit road at lap 110. Let's all watch closely here. If you're paying attention closely there, you'll notice he was in the pit stall for 20 seconds. That's what happened. If you watch really closely, the left side's going to drop, and he sits there about another 5 seconds. And I don't know if there was something happened on the pit stop or whatnot, but watch here. There's like that 5 seconds of nothing. And that has killed his chance. But we do have caution on the track here all of a sudden. Of course, I got a replay, and I just foxed the bit. Caution is out for the 3rd time. And he's saved by Nick Sargent and Dalton Wilson. Oh, contact. Oh, right next to Mike Husby. Looks like Dalton was off the pace and Sargent just mistimed it. And this just hurt those guys who did the short pit. All right, so leaders are on pit road. There's Heller leaving, Whitley leaving. Well, I got to catch up now a little bit, huh? Stephen Miles going to come out 3rd. So this is going to play interesting strategy now because you're going to have cars that pitted at that green flag run that stay on the lead lap here are now going to have older tires than the field here. So let's go back and see the wreck again. So you see Dalton Wilson's off the pace there, top side. A couple cars go to his inside here. Husby gets to Sargent's inside, and Sargent just mistimes the speed of Dalton, trying to get out of Husby's way. Well, that's going to bring the leaders to pit road here. And here's those guys coming in. So obviously for those who just pitted with the green flag out there, those guys are going to stay out here and either take the wave around or end up back on the lead lap. So we're going to have, once again, a caution under green flag pit stops. But this time, towards the end of this race, which is going to put a little twist on it. All right, let's talk to the driver who is sitting over across the pond right now, Porsche Autosports. Finley Fitzsimmons, who joins us up here in chat. Finley, all right, man, leading this race. Obviously, there are going to be some wave rounds, going to get the green probably with 14 laps to go. A very similar position to Texas. The difference, though, is you got about 7 lap older tires than these guys behind you. Can you hold them off?
It's going to be a bit of a task, but with this caution, it's going to bring it a little bit closer. Of course, the Texas situation did pass my mind, but we're going to give it our best shot, and we'll see how it ends.
How's the race been? You've been running pretty consistent there in the top 10 throughout the night.
Yeah, managing the tyres has been the big thing. I think in the first I managed the tyres really well, and it brought me up the places quite nicely, and we had a good first stop as well. By staying out, we managed to get the lead, and yeah, we've been up there ever since, so hopefully we can hold them off and have a good race at the finish.
Random question here. Does the UK, where you are, celebrate April Fool's Day? Do you guys pull jokes on each other over there on this day?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
we do.
I was curious. I just thought about it. It just kind of came to my mind. I'm like, I know we do it here.
Yeah.
So what's the meanest joke you've ever done to somebody?
No.
All right, buddy. Good luck.
All right, thanks, Chris. See ya.
You too. As Finley Fitzsimmons, I wouldn't want to tell it either, to be honest with you, but I don't blame him. As he's down in his channel. Focused, ready to go. 14 laps to go, and he'll get 13 to go as we get the green flag. And speaking of, let's pull the bingo card out. Somebody's updated it from last week. This is what we got covered last week. Somehow we only got 3 covered. Thanks for coming, everybody. Or thanks for racing, everybody. That's Casey Carrington tradition over there at the bottom left. The birthday space, that's in the middle. That's for Finley's birthday, even though it's, or not Finley, but Gareth. And then somebody spins someone. I forget the name up there at the top, but that's that one. That's pretty much all we covered here. Let's see what we got tonight. I mean, the third, Z-Line Toyota wins the race. That could happen. Whitley leads the most laps, gets wrecked anyways. That hasn't happened yet. Casey hasn't had a mishap. Terrell hasn't had the repair. Now, the bottom left, Mountain Man Motorsports are 25-11 sweeping. That could happen. So we'll see. As we get ready to go green, Fitzsimmons, Weeks, Heller, Whitley, Miles, your top 5 with 13 laps to go. Hold on, it's going to be wild. Fitzsimmons with 9 lap older tires and the guys coming behind him. It's going to be a tough task, like he said. He's going to try as Whitley gets to the bottom. Kind of gets the door shut, though. Finley running his own lane here. They're going to split him 3 wide. They were all but 3 wide. Oh! Netcode. Finley into the wall. I'll be blamed for that one, I'm sure. That was big net code. Maybe not. That's close. And Whitley has ran a 75 up front. Best way to tell if it's net code or not. Chase! Oh, yeah, you tell me if there's net code or not. Only about a foot. Matthew Weeks, 7-lap older tires, running in third right now. Stephen Miles about a second back and fourth. Justin Ray with the race of the night. And apparently Finley's got a meatball. Give me some pasta. Hey, where's Antonio at? No, just kidding. Oh, Cutlip a little loose there. How about the comeback for Tim Abril in the 8th position? He was a part of that first caution, and at one point was like 20 seconds back during the second run in last. And here he is now going for the 8th position. That is not his position battle with Cutlip. Cutlip's actually needing a caution real badly right now. Fitzsimmons on pit road. Unfortunate break, and I'm sure I'm getting yelled at after the race. Austin Bloom and Brandon Barkuski also coming to pit road here. Barkuski continues his fall, unfortunately. Everybody going as hard as they can go right now. 7 laps to go before we take the Easter week off. Or as I'm calling it, my birthday week. Same. It's pretty much the same day, by the way. And it's not an April Fool's joke, by the way. It's not April 1st yet here. Mark Whitley coming in this season has made every race but one. And it's not that he DNF'd, he just wasn't able to be at that 7th race, so it's his 7th start tonight. And he's pretty much felt like he's being ran over by everything throughout this season. I remember, what was it, the Vegas race? I think he put a post out saying he was tired of being ran over by things. And he has continued to run well. 2 poles so far this season. Has led plenty of laps in that 77 car as he comes off turn 4. Going to be 4 laps to go. Is tonight he gets win number 1. If so, he'd be the 6th winner already on this regular season well, it's only regular season races, but of this 3rd season, if you will. 5th season. I don't know how to count tonight. Forgive me. Stephen Miles going for 3rd. It's the 5th season, Scala. As Miles goes by for 3rd. Back here, Schlosser, Holmes, and Carrington right around the top 10. Carrington, that car looked loose, but I think it was just the yaw that was in it. Nick Terrell trying to get himself a top 10 back there in 81. Two laps to go. And what is going to be the first of 5 straight nights of broadcasts before we hit the holiday weekend. So make sure you come back tomorrow night. We'll have another series actually. Oh, Toronto, easy boys. Doritos and cereal don't go together, just FYI. White flag for Whitley. Has struggled a little bit, but one thing we know is that boy is fast, and tonight he's going to be fast enough to take the Angry Duck to victory lane. Quack, quack, Whitley scores number one at Charlotte. And becomes the 6th winner in 8 races this season. Heller's going to finish 2nd. Stephen Miles 3rd. Matthew Weeks and Justin Ray gets a top 5 in that 38 car tonight after starting all the way back in 29th. How about Stephen Thompson with a top 10 tonight? There's some great names up there in the top. Harpoon Design Racing going to victory lane. In the World 200. What smoke? There's a little bit there. He's having a good time, though. Parks it. That's how you do it, boys. Well done. Being hated for no smoke, but otherwise he did what he had to do tonight. Great job as he'll land right there in the victory lane. As he'll celebrate, and we will get the unofficial results. Up on the screen as Whitley goes to victory lane from the pole. Track record fell all the way back at one point to the mid-20s with pit strategy and slowly worked his way up through the field and got that caution that put him and Heller up there in the prime spots to get top 2 finishes. Look at this: 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. Ray 5th, Thompson 6th, Colgan 7th, Abril 8th, Schlosser 9th. All those guys had issues, and they finished in the top 10. Nick Terrell 12th. Great run there. Cody McCorkle led some laps tonight, finishes 15th. As you'll see the names go through the field, you see David Tooker, 19th position. So as the luck ran out for that Z-Line team after this couple weeks of being pretty hot, I think it's more a testament of how tough this series is to run. Barkuski, 26. One night you feel like the GOAT. The next night, have a piece of humble pie. Definitely can happen to you. All right, let's talk to some drivers. Might have a dad joke or two ready here in a second. He doesn't want to hear that, but you never know. He's up here waiting to talk to me. He's up here in the waiting room, ready to rock and roll. I go down there and search for him, and he's up here, like, ready. He's probably at least rubbing his hands together, all like, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Actually, I'm rubbing my back because my back is killing me.
That's what you're, never mind. Anyways, congratulations on your top 3 there, Mr. Stephen Miles. I know the first 50 laps of this race, it looked like you might finish 33rd.
Yeah, missed the start, so I had to start from pit road, but I guess it was a blessing in disguise. It was a big one that got my teammate and stuff involved. There was a lot of damaged cars, so yeah, back there the dirty air was making my car real funny. The only time I could really pass is in the middle to the end of a run, which is when people start pitting. So yeah, when I got that clean air, it was a much different car. I was trying to save right there, but I probably should just race hard with those guys and try to make it closer.
So you mean to tell me that Dalton or Bryson or any of these guys couldn't like say, "Hey, dude, you know we're about to start, right?"
No, I was stuck in the pickle, man. I was trying to figure out what setup I want to run. I knew it was going to end of the night. I've been practicing for the nighttime, so I went with that setup, and what do you know, it only got better once it got nighttime. So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
Don't say it's a fixed setup. What's there to adjust? But no, I know what you mean. Still, great job though, man. How's it feel to come out of here with a top 3? You're, I mean, top 5 in points. You're leading the rookie points, so things have been definitely swinging your way.
Yeah, I still hurt from Daytona, man. I wanted to get that first one, but how the day started, I knew if I be patient, I could end up getting the top 10, a good points day, and I wish I would have stayed out for that first green flag pit when they caution came out and trapped us a lap down. I could have been up there and could have got adjusted real better, but you know, I'll take it as I can.
Well, great job tonight. Send some shout out to everybody like too.
Asheville Rooftops, my teammates, Bryson, Tim Abel, Dalton Wilson. Appreciate the best broadcaster in all of YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. You, the captain. Thank God, thank my girlfriend, and that'll be it.
Sounds good, man. Well, great job tonight. Congratulations. Go enjoy it.
Thank you. No dad jokes. I appreciate it.
I was looking for one. Great job, man.
All right.
All right, Stephen Miles, 3rd place tonight. For those who don't know, I know Miles well from other leagues, and he doesn't like my dad jokes. Anyways. All right, let's talk to our 2nd place finisher tonight, Christopher Heller, after what has been an up and down run here the last few weeks. Chris finishes in the 2nd position tonight, man. Obviously, the strategy of the long run seemed to help you out tonight, staying out there, and you had those 2 cautions come out, keep you up there towards the front. Talk about that 2nd place run for you.
Yeah, so on that long run that I ended up doing, I was actually going to do what the other 3 cars did that was racing around, and I ended up just saying screw it once they pitted, and I just stayed out and ran it as long as I had on gas anyways, and luckily that worked out. I mean, I want to apologize to those 6. The 2nd week in a row we've kind of had an incident on track, and he was the ball on both incidents, I guess, but this one was more of a netcode issue, but I could have probably been a little bit lower going in the turns, but I was trying to race for the win there, and we're all just taking space, and it's just real unfortunate circumstance for that, but I wish I would have gotten a better restart, because I was definitely in the right spot there, and I wish I kind of had that one over.
Absolutely, man. Well, and those kind of things are going to happen, and yeah, there was about a foot of netcode, unfortunately, in there, but it's like you said, unfortunately, Finley got the worst of that on both sides. But I want to go back to what you said there with the pit stops, okay? And I say this because I'm one of those that thinks the same way, and I always tell friends of mine when I'm out there racing, they're all like, dude, why don't you pit with the leaders or whatever? And if you listen to the race Sunday, when they race at Richmond, you're going to hear Larry McReynolds probably say this at one point. He's going to say, if you follow the leader, you're going to follow the leader. And what he means by that is if you follow the leader the whole entire night, you will never pass him because there's a reason why you're following him. Obviously, in this case, Chris, you planned on pitting early, but the leaders pitted early, so you thought probably the counter run to that is to pit later so that you'll have at least the fresher tires to counter their short pit.
Yeah, so my plan was to pit with roughly about 20 laps to go, but they pitted way earlier than I ever thought that they were going to. So I was like, alright, well, I'm just going to run this out then. And luckily for me, it worked out in my favor. And I think the 77, or not 77, the 11 ended up having a good run as well. But yeah, that's pretty much my night. It was pretty uneventful for the most part.
Hey, none wrong with that for them. You just had the one little hiccup, which happens, but great second place finish for you tonight, and send some shout outs over your Lake too.
Yeah, obviously Brandon Barkowski, my co-owner slash teammate, he's doing good. I want to congratulate Zach on his new baby, so that's why he hasn't been around the last couple weeks. So he just had that a couple days ago, so congratulations to him for having his new baby, and the rest of the 2511 team and Mark Whitley on the win.
Absolutely. Yeah, congrats to Zach on that. Appreciate you sharing that, because I had no clue, obviously, and congrats to he and his partner and stuff like that. But great job to your team, and congratulations to you, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Have a good Easter, and we'll see you then.
Yep, see you in a couple weeks.
Absolutely. As Christopher Heller finishes in the second position behind the man of the hour, Mark Whitley, who finally gets the old, I could say this, it's Easter weekend next weekend, rabbit off of his back, or monkey, or whatever you want to use, as he goes to victory lane tonight. Mark, welcome, man. Finally getting off the schneid, if you will, but it wasn't easy, as you had to work a couple of different strategies there, and even have to come from the back at one point to go to victory lane.
Yeah, I know. When we got the, it was probably the one time I'll ever complain about getting the lucky dog, because the whole field, half the field was going to take the wave around, but I was the lucky person that got the lucky dog, so I got to go behind everybody.
Right.
So that threw a real big monkey wrench in the plan, and I think if you go back and listen, I don't know if you listen to the radio, but I think I literally said, well, everybody get your bingo cards out here. The bottom right one's about to get checked, because I mean, it feels like this whole year, it feels like we've got, if we had a golden horseshoe last year, we got whatever the opposite of a golden horseshoe is. I don't know if a poop horseshoe or I was
going to say a big pile of, you know what.
Yeah, we got something, because the luck we've had, we've been running up front, like pretty much the first 3 weeks of the year. We were all running top 5 in the last couple laps and got spun or wrecked or something happened, and just put us in a huge hole for the points, and missed last week because we had some personal stuff going on. But and this week it's just kind of like, I had Brantley, my painter, I had him like, all right, change, because we had the Camaro nose on it, and it just kind of looked weird, because like these big hole in the front of it looks kind of weird with the Camaro. Right. So I had him switch it back to like the Impala SS, whatever the default was, and I got to win after the race. I said, I told you we should have changed it sooner. So we ran last season, and it worked pretty good. We won 3 or 4 races. So
I was gonna say, if you had to go, if you finish top 5, it'd be like, all right, put the Lumina nose on there now. Let's see if we can go faster.
Yeah, so it just, it was crazy working our way through the field like that. I just went uber conservative, just trying to save the tires, because I knew it seemed like we were doing a lot of green flag racing, so I just took it really easy. And about lap 20, 25 of the run, I mean, I was passing guys like they were sitting still just because they had burnt their stuff up. And I think we worked our way up to like 8th or 9th for the first green flag run. And when we went along on the pit stop because we were passing people and don't really know need to pit. And we got back to, I think we went back to about 13th or 14th and got back up to, well, we were running second when the caution came out the last time. And I pretty much told Brantley, I was like, there's no way for us to win if we pit when everybody else pits, so we can just push it as long as we can and hope for a caution. And that's what we got. We got the caution we needed finally, and we weren't a part of it. So came in, took tires, and on the restart I had to get really aggressive just because I knew the 2 guys on the front row, they were on a little bit older tires, and me and the 83, I think it was the 352, I forget who it was. We were on new tires, and I knew how to get around him as quick as possible, because if I had to wait behind him, the dirty air is not as bad with these cars as it is with like some of the other cars on iRacing, but being out front is such an advantage. So I was really aggressive trying to get it, and I kind of used, I forget who it was, I kind of used him as a pick getting around both of them for the lead. But we talked after race. I mean, he'd have done the same thing. So I mean, it's just hard racing, going for the win, and thankfully it went green. And I think I probably have a hand cramp on both hands. I was gripping that steering wheel so hard the last 15 laps of that race. I had flashbacks last season. We were in the lead, and we pretty much got ourselves. We just pulled a boneheaded move, about spun off a 4 on the next to last lap, and gave the win to Toker. So I was like, don't repeat last season's mistake. That was all I was thinking the last couple laps, is don't mess it up. You got it. So coming off 4 on the last lap, I was a little excited to say the least. Like I said, finally getting off the old schneid, getting getting the monkey off our back, whatever you want to call it. It feels good to finally get in victory lane.
No, you did everything you were supposed to do tonight, man. Great job on that, and I know exactly what you're talking about, the whole tire saving deal, because I feel that's where I think I was always good at Charlotte myself. This was one of my probably best tracks to run at, and it was because I think you'd get so many people that would drive their car so hard they would just plow up the track in the long run, and you were just able to put it right down on that white line and just see you. And so I definitely totally understand where you're coming from there. But great job tonight, and congratulations on that. Finally going to victory lane, getting win number 1 out this season, and maybe some momentum. Hopefully you'll be able to climb back up there into the points. I know you said you missed last week or whatever, but still great job, and send some shout outs to whoever you like to.
Yeah, big shout out Brantley over at Harpoon Design. He does all my paint schemes, and he also spots for me on all my race nights, so I appreciate him. So go check him out at harpoondesign.com, or if you just want to check out some of his other work, he's got, I think, close to 2,000 paint schemes on Trading Paint. So he's got something pretty much for everybody if you want to go up there and check out his work. So check him out, harpoondesign.com. Shout out to my family, always tuning into these broadcasts of races. I know my parents are actually staying here with me tonight, so they're in the living room. Usually they're just tuning in their house, but they're actually here tonight, so I appreciate that. And then my granddad, he's over there. He's always watching all my races, no matter how late they go. Appreciate him staying up and watching them. And then shout out to the league. That was one hell of a race. I mean, we had, what, 3 cautions?
I think 3, yeah.
Like 134. I mean, and that first one was like super early, so we had 2 cautions for like over 100 laps. I mean, that's really good, especially as this car, it's such a handful. I mean, the ARCA car before it, what it's based off of was a handful, but this with the extra power, I mean, it's a real, you really got to like muscle this thing around here, and to go green that long, that speaks volumes to the caliber of drivers we have in here. And finally, this is my first win actually with the Gen 4, so finally getting a handle on that. I was a little bit different, having to, it has a lot of power, so just getting a little, handle on it. So hopefully we can come out here and maybe repeat next week.
Hey, that'd be, well, 2 weeks. You get to celebrate a win for 2 weeks. You get that rare award.
There you go.
So there you go. Go enjoy that, man. You and Bradley and team, great job. Congratulations. Go enjoy Easter, and congratulations again, and go from there.
All right, sounds good, man.
All right, be safe. You too, buddy. As Mark Whitley goes to victory lane for the first time, as he mentioned, in the Gen 4 car here in the series, the All-American ARCA Series presented by Whiteriver LLC. As I'm sure he'll be celebrating this one and talking about this one for a while, and going from there. So, all right, as I mentioned, first of 5 straight nights of broadcasting. We'll be back on tomorrow night. I'm not sure the exact time. It's going to come down to whenever the Texas truck race ends, I believe, because the Xfinity race is on first, and then the Texas truck race after that. So, of course, I got to do my other job first, and then we'll come on and have some fun and go from there. So, remember, next time you'll see this series will be in 2 weeks. Friday night, the 14th of April, will be on the air from the Iowa Speedway virtually. So hopefully you'll come and join us for that race. It'll be the 9th of the season. Only 5 more to go after it's all said and done. So we got not many races left here in this All-American ARCA Series. Want to send a special shout out also to Whiteriver LLC for sponsoring the series here and being a part of that. And of course, appreciate all the viewers watching tonight. I'm off to go get some sleep. Hopefully everybody stays safe with the weather, because I know it's hitting the fan again over in about the same area that hit last week. So hopefully everybody stays safe from that. But we're out. Enjoy the rest of your Friday night. I'll call it Sunday for some reason. That's I think I need to go to bed. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your Friday night. And always remember, this isn't just a game. It's iRacing. See ya!
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless. A sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. Just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great.